First contact and cultural clash. The vast expanse of space stretched before Captain Sarah Chen as she stood on the bridge of the UAS Horizon, Earth's most advanced exploratory vessel. The ship's sleek design and state-of-the-art technology represented humanity's greatest achievement in space exploration. As they approached the edge of known space, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. Captain, we're picking up an unusual energy signature, reported Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez, his eyes fixed on the holographic display before him. It's unlike anything we've seen before. Sarah leaned forward, her curiosity piqued. Can you pinpoint its location? Marcus nodded, his fingers dancing across the control panel. Yes, ma'am. It's coming from a previously uncharted system about 2 light-years from our current position. Set a course, Sarah ordered, her heart racing with excitement. Let's see what we stumbled upon. As the horizon approached the mysterious system, the crew's anticipation grew. They had trained for years for this moment, the possibility of first contact with an alien civilization, yet nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to encounter. The ship dropped out of FTL, and gasps echoed across the bridge. Before them loomed a massive structure, easily dwarfing their vessel. Its design was otherworldly, a series of interlocking rings that seemed to defy the laws of physics, pulsing with an ethereal blue light. My God, whispered Dr. Amelia Foster, the ship's xenobiologist. It's beautiful. Before anyone could respond, a beam of light shot out from the structure, enveloping the horizon. Alarms blared as the ship's systems went haywire. We're being pulled in, shouted Marcus, frantically trying to regain control. Sarah gripped her chair, her mind racing. All hands, brace for impact. The horizon was drawn inexorably towards the alien structure, passing through what appeared to be a shimmering energy field. As they breached the barrier, an eerie silence fell over the ship. The alarms ceased, and the violent shaking subsided. Status report, Sarah demanded, her voice steady despite the chaos they had just experienced. All systems operational, Captain, replied Marcus, his tone confused. But we're no longer where we were. These star charts, they're completely unfamiliar. Sarah stood, her gaze fixed on the view screen. The alien structure was gone, replaced by a bustling spaceport unlike anything they had ever seen. Ships of various designs and sizes zipped past, their alien architectures a testament to the diversity of life that apparently called this place home. It appears we've been transported to some kind of interstellar hub, Dr. Foster observed, her scientific curiosity overriding her initial shock. Before Sarah could formulate a response, a new voice crackled over the ship's comm system. The language was unlike anything they had ever heard, a series of clicks, whistles, and low rumbles. The universal translator is having trouble decoding it, Marcus reported, but it's definitely a deliberate communication attempt. Sarah took a deep breath, straightening her uniform. Open a channel. Let's hope they're friendly. As Marcus worked to establish communication, the view screen flickered to life, revealing a being that defied easy description. Its body seemed to shimmer and shift, as if composed of living light. Multiple appendages swayed gently, and what appeared to be eyes, dozens of them, blinked in unison. The alien spoke again, and this time, the translator managed to decipher some of its words. Welcome, Nexus. Protocol activated. Assessment begins. I am Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth Ship Horizon, Sarah said, her voice clear and confident. We come in peace and friendship. The alien's form pulsed, and more of its words became clear. Greetings, humans. You have activated the Nexus Protocol. Your species will now be evaluated for inclusion in the Galactic Confederation. Sarah exchanged glances with her crew. This was far beyond anything they had expected or prepared for. Evaluated. I'm afraid I don't understand. We're explorers, not. The alien interrupted, its tone somehow both gentle and firm. All species must be assessed before joining the greater galactic community. Your arrival has triggered this process. Prepare yourselves. Before Sarah could protest further, the view screen went dark. The bridge crew looked to her, their expressions a mix of excitement and apprehension. Orders, Captain? Marcus asked, his hand hovering over the weapons controls. Sarah shook her head. Stand down, Lieutenant. We're clearly outmatched here. Whatever this assessment is, we'll face it head-on. That's what we came out here to do, isn't it? To learn to grow, to push the boundaries of human understanding. Dr. Foster nodded enthusiastically. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, Captain. Think of what we could learn. As if in response to her words, the ship shuddered. Outside, a swarm of small, drone-like devices surrounded the horizon, bathing it in a soft green light. They're scanning us, Marcus reported. Every inch of the ship, inside and out. Sarah watched the drones work, her mind racing. Let them. We have nothing to hide. In the meantime, I want all departments working on gathering as much data as possible about our surroundings. If we're going to be assessed, I want us to do some assessing of our own. Over the next few hours, the crew of the Horizon worked tirelessly. They analyzed the alien ship zipping past, studied the structure of the spaceport, and attempted to decipher the myriad of transmissions filling the airways. It was a treasure trove of information, more than they could have gathered in years of normal exploration. As Sarah pored over the preliminary reports, a new transmission came through. This time, the translator had an easier time decoding the message. Humans, the alien voice said, your initial scan is complete. Prepare for the first trial of the Nexus protocol. Choose your champions wisely. The transmission cut off, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Champions, Marcus echoed. What kind of trial are we talking about here? Sarah stood, her expression resolute. I don't know. Whatever it is, we'll face it together. Humanity has overcome every challenge it's faced so far. This will be no different. As she spoke, a shimmering portal appeared in the center of the bridge. Beyond it, they could see a vast arena, filled with beings of every conceivable shape and size. Well, Sarah said, a wry smile on her face, I guess that's our invitation. Dr. Foster, Lieutenant Rodriguez, you're with me. The rest of you, continue gathering data. Whatever happens in there, we need to learn as much as we can about this galactic confederation. With a deep breath, Sarah stepped towards the portal. As she did, she couldn't help but feel a mix of trepidation and exhilaration. This was why they had ventured into the unknown, to represent humanity, to learn to grow. Whatever trials lay ahead, she was determined to show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. As they stepped through the portal, leaving the familiar confines of the horizon behind, Sarah and her team found themselves in a cavernous space that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The arena they had glimpsed from the ship was even more impressive up close, a massive amphitheater that stretched as far as the eye could see, filled with countless alien species. The air was thick with a cacophony of sounds, clicks, whistles, rumbles, and vocalizations beyond human comprehension. The universal translator struggled to keep up, providing a disjointed stream of partial translations. New species. Humans, fascinating. Will they survive the trials? Sarah straightened her back, acutely aware that all eyes, or whatever sensory organs these beings possessed, were on them. She glanced at Marcus and Amelia, noting their mix of awe and determination. Remember, she said quietly, we're not just representing ourselves here. We're representing all of humanity. Whatever happens, we show them what we're made of. Before either of her companions could respond, a booming voice echoed through the arena, silencing the crowd. Welcome, humans, to the Grand Nexus. The voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. You stand before the assembled representatives of the Galactic Confederation. Your species has been deemed ready for evaluation. The trials you face will determine your place among the stars. A shimmering hologram appeared before them, depicting a series of complex symbols and diagrams. Sarah squinted, trying to make sense of it. The Nexus protocol consists of 3 trials, the voice continued. Each will test a different aspect of your species' capabilities. Success will bring great rewards. Failure, well, let us hope it does not come to that. Sarah stepped forward, her voice clear and unwavering. We accept your challenge. Humanity has faced countless trials throughout our history. We're ready for whatever you have in store. A ripple of what might have been approval or amusement swept through the crowd. Very well, the voice responded. The first trial begins now. You will be presented with a series of logical and mathematical puzzles. They will challenge not just your intelligence, but your ability to think in new ways. You have 1 planetary rotation to complete them. Begin. Suddenly, the hologram before them transformed into a dizzying array of shapes, numbers, and symbols. Some were recognizable, while others were completely alien. Dr. Foster, Sarah said, you're our science expert. Take the lead on this. Amelia nodded, her eyes already darting across the holographic display. Some of these are based on principles we understand, advanced calculus, quantum mechanics. But others, I've never seen anything like them. Marcus frowned, studying a particularly complex section. It's like they're testing not just what we know, but how quickly we can learn and adapt. Then that's what we'll do, Sarah said firmly. We solve what we can, and we learn the rest as we go. Humanity's greatest strength has always been our adaptability. Let's show them what we can do. As the hours ticked by, the 3 humans worked tirelessly. They solved familiar problems with ease, drawing on their years of training and experience. But it was the unfamiliar challenges that truly tested them. They debated theories, sketched out ideas, and pushed the limits of their understanding. More than once, they found themselves staring at a puzzle that seemed impossible, only to have a breakthrough that opened up new avenues of thought. It's incredible, Amelia said during a brief rest, her eyes shining with excitement. Some of these concepts, if we can understand them, apply them, they could revolutionize our understanding of the universe. Sarah nodded, feeling a surge of pride in her team and in humanity as a whole. That's why we're out here, to learn to grow, to push beyond what we thought was possible. As the deadline approached, they faced their final challenge, a problem that combined elements from all the previous puzzles. It loomed before them, a tangled web of interconnected concepts that seemed to defy solution. We're missing something, Marcus muttered, running a hand through his hair in frustration. There's a pattern here, but I can't quite see it. Sarah studied the problem, her mind racing. Then suddenly, it clicked. It's not about solving each part individually, she said, her voice rising with excitement. It's about seeing how they all connect, how each solution influences the others. It's a model of a living system, Amelia finished, her eyes widening. Like an ecosystem, or a galactic civilization, Sarah concluded, each part influencing the whole, creating a balance. With this realization, the final pieces fell into place. As they input the last solution, the hologram pulsed with a brilliant light. The voice that had introduced the trial spoke again, a note of what might have been approval in its tone. Impressive humans, you have completed the first trial of the Nexus protocol. You have demonstrated not only intelligence, but the ability to adapt and see connections where others might not. This will serve you well in the trials to come. The hologram dissolved, and the crowd of alien observers erupted in a cacophony of sounds, cheers, perhaps, or simply excited discussion. Sarah allowed herself a small smile, sharing a look of triumph with Marcus and Amelia. They had passed the first test, but she knew this was only the beginning. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, representing the best of what humanity had to offer. As they were led from the arena, back towards the shimmering portal that would return them to the horizon, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. They had taken their first steps into a larger universe, one filled with wonders and challenges beyond imagination. And humanity, it seemed, was ready to rise to the occasion, the empathy experiment. As Captain Sarah Chen and her team stepped back through the shimmering portal onto the bridge of the UAS Horizon, they were met with a chorus of cheers from the crew. The excitement was palpable. Humanity had passed its first trial in the Nexus protocol. "Outstanding work, all of you," Sarah said, her voice carrying a mix of pride and determination. "But this is just the beginning. We need to prepare for whatever comes next." Before anyone could respond, the ship's AIA, Advanced Responsive Intelligence Assistant, chimed in. "Captain, I've detected an unusual energy signature emanating from the Nexus structure. It appears to be evolving." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "Evolving? What do you mean, AIA?" The A's holographic avatar flickered to life, displaying a complex array of data. The structure's energy patterns are shifting, becoming more complex. It's as if it's learning from our presence. Dr. Amelia Foster's eyes widened. Fascinating. Could it be some form of adaptive technology? Or perhaps a living entity itself? As the crew speculated, a new transmission cut through their discussion. The alien voice, now familiar, resonated through the ship. "Humans, you have shown promise. But intelligence alone is not enough to join the Galactic Confederation. Your next trial will test something equally vital: empathy. Prepare yourselves for the empathy experiment." The view screen flashed, revealing a sight that made the entire crew gasp. A massive translucent sphere had appeared next to the Nexus, filled with what looked like miniature worlds, each teeming with alien life. Within this empathy sphere, the voice continued, are simulations of 1,000 alien cultures. Your task is to navigate these worlds, understand their inhabitants, and solve a critical problem facing each civilization. You have 48 Earth hours. Choose your team wisely. As the transmission ended, the bridge erupted into a flurry of activity. Sarah turned to her officers, her mind racing. "This is unprecedented," Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez said, his voice a mix of excitement and apprehension. "We're talking about speed-running cultural understanding on a galactic scale." Dr. Foster nodded enthusiastically. "It's a test of our ability to adapt, to see beyond our own perspective. This could revolutionize our approach to xenanthropology." Sarah held up a hand, silencing the excited chatter. "You're both right. This isn't just about solving problems. It's about proving that humanity can coexist with a multitude of alien cultures. We need a diverse team, people who can think outside the box." After careful consideration, Sarah assembled her team. Dr. Foster for her scientific insight, Lieutenant Rodriguez for his tactical thinking, Ensign Zara Patel, a brilliant young linguist, and Chief Engineer Axel Donovan, known for his unconventional problem-solving skills. As they prepared to enter the empathy sphere, Sarah addressed her team. "Remember, we're not just solving puzzles here. We're showing the galaxy that humans can be compassionate, adaptable, and understanding. Let's make Earth proud." With a deep breath, they stepped into the shimmering portal that appeared on the bridge. The experience was unlike anything they had ever encountered. Each simulated world was a sensory explosion: alien sights, sounds, smells, and even gravity. The team found themselves rapidly shifting between environments, their minds struggling to keep up. In one world, they encountered beings of pure energy, locked in a conflict stemming from a misunderstanding of each other's thought patterns. Sarah and her team had to learn to communicate through pulses of light and emotion, eventually brokering a peace that had eluded the energy beings for eons. On another planet, they faced a civilization on the brink of environmental collapse. The alien inhabitants, silicon-based life forms, couldn't understand why their world was dying. Axel's engineering background proved crucial as the team devised a way to communicate the concept of sustainable energy using crystalline structures the aliens could comprehend. Hours blurred as they jumped from world to world. They mediated conflicts, solved resource crises, and even helped a hive-mind species understand the value of individual thought. Each challenge stretched their understanding of life, consciousness, and society. As the clock ticked down, they faced their final and most daunting challenge. A world split by an ideological divide so vast, it threatened to tear the planet apart. The two factions, one photosynthetic and one chemisynthetic, had been locked in a cold war for millennia. "We need to help them see beyond their biological differences," Zara said, her translator working overtime to decipher the complex pheromone language of the aliens. Marcus nodded, studying the tactical holomaps. "But how do we bridge a gap that's literally coded into their DNA?" Saro watched as Amelia pored over the biological data of both species. Suddenly, the scientist's eyes lit up. "That's it. They're not as different as they think. Look at their molecular structure. They're two sides of the same coin." With this revelation, the team worked feverishly to create a demonstration that both factions could understand. Using a combination of light shows, chemical reactions, and a universal musical scale they had discovered, they showed the aliens how their differences were, in fact, complementary. As understanding dawned on the alien leaders, the simulated world erupted in a celebration of unity. The team watched in awe as centuries of conflict melted away, replaced by a new era of cooperation. Just as they were catching their breath, they found themselves back on the bridge of the horizon. The 48 hours had elapsed. The alien voice spoke again, this time with a warmth that hadn't been there before. "Humans, you have surpassed our expectations. Your capacity for empathy, for understanding perspectives vastly different from your own, is remarkable. You have passed the second trial of the Nexus Protocol." A cheer went up from the crew, but Sarah held up a hand, her expression serious. "Thank you," she said to the unseen aliens. "But I have a question. These trials, they're not just about us, are they? You're learning from us too." There was a pause, and then a chuckle, a surprisingly human sound. "Perceptive, Captain Chen. Indeed, the Nexus Protocol works both ways. As we evaluate you, we too are changed. Your unique approach to problem-solving, your adaptability, your empathy, these are valuable traits that enrich our Confederation." Sarah nodded, a smile playing on her lips. "Then we look forward to the final trial. Whatever it may be, we'll face it together, not just as humans, but as potential partners in this grand galactic community." As the transmission ended, Sarah turned to her crew. The excitement on the bridge was palpable, but she could see the fatigue in their eyes. They had been pushed to their limits, forced to expand their minds in ways they never thought possible. "Get some rest, all of you," she ordered. "We've made incredible progress, but the hardest part is yet to come. Whatever the final trial is, we need to be ready." As the crew dispersed, Sarah remained on the bridge, gazing out at the Nexus structure and the empathy sphere. She couldn't shake the feeling that humanity was on the brink of something monumental. They had proven their intelligence and their empathy. But what final test could the Galactic Confederation have in store? With a mix of anticipation and determination, Sarah prepared herself for the challenges ahead. Whatever came next, she knew that humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. The quantum conundrum. As the crew of the UES Horizon rested, preparing for their final trial, Captain Sarah Chen found herself unable to sleep. She stood in the ship's observation deck, watching the swirling energies of the Nexus structure. Suddenly, AORA's holographic avatar appeared beside her. "Captain, I detected an anomaly," the AI reported. "The Nexus is emitting quantum fluctuations on a scale I've never seen before." Before Sarah could respond, the ship shuddered violently. Alarms blared as reality itself seemed to warp around them. "All hands, battle stations," Sarah shouted, racing to the bridge. As she arrived, the view screen showed a sight that defied explanation. The Nexus had transformed, splitting into countless shimmering fragments. Each piece seemed to contain a different version of reality, like a shattered mirror reflecting infinite possibilities. The alien voice, now tinged with urgency, echoed through the ship. "Humans, the final trial begins now. The quantum conundrum has been activated. The very fabric of space-time is at stake." Dr. Foster's eyes widened as she studied the readings. Captain, it's a cascading quantum event. Each of those fragments represents a different timeline, a different version of our universe. Lieutenant Rodriguez gripped his console. Are you saying we're seeing the multiverse? More than that, the alien voice interjected. You're seeing the collapse of the multiverse. This is the greatest threat any civilization can face, the unraveling of reality itself. Sarah's mind raced. The final trial. We have to stop this, don't we? Correct, Captain Chen. Your task is to stabilize the quantum fluctuations and preserve the integrity of spacetime. But be warned, any action you take will have consequences across all realities. Choose wisely. As the transmission ended, the bridge erupted into a flurry of activity. Sarah turned to her team, determination etched on her face. HFY, analyze the quantum signatures. Dr. Foster, I need theories on how to stabilize this event. Lieutenant Rodriguez, scan for any patterns in the fluctuations. Let's move, people. As the crew worked feverishly, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that this was more than just a test. The urgency in the alien's voice had been real. Whatever was happening, the stakes were universal, literally. Hours passed in a blow of complex calculations and mind-bending theories. They watched as alternate versions of themselves made different choices in the fractured realities before them. In one, the horizon never left Earth. In another, they had become conquerors rather than explorers. Captain, Aria's voice cut through the chaos. I've identified a pattern in the quantum fluctuations. They seem to be emanating from a central point within the nexus. Sarah nodded. Good work. Dr. Foster, any ideas on how to stabilize it? Amelia looked up from her calculations, her eyes shining with a mix of fear and excitement. I have a theory, but it's insane. At this point, I'll take insane, Sarah replied. We need to create a quantum entanglement on a massive scale, Amelia explained. If we can link our reality with each of the fragmented ones, we might be able to pull them back together. Lieutenant Rodriguez frowned. But wouldn't that risk collapsing all realities into one? Not if we use the horizon as an anchor, Amelia countered. We represent the prime timeline. If we can establish ourselves as the quantum focal point, the other realities should realign. Sarah considered for a moment. The risks? Total annihilation of all realities if we fail, Amelia said grimly. But if we do nothing, that's guaranteed anyway. Sarah took a deep breath. Then we have no choice. How do we do this? What followed was the most daring and complex operation in human history. The horizon positioned itself at the heart of the quantum storm, its systems pushed beyond their limits. Aria's processors worked at unprecedented speeds, calculating the quantum entanglement parameters. Dr. Foster and her team repurposed the ship's experimental dark matter drive, turning it into a quantum beacon. As they activated the device, the ship shuddered. Through the viewscreen, they watched in awe as beams of energy shot out, connecting the horizon to each fractured reality. It's working, Amelia shouted over the roar of straining engines. The quantum signatures are stabilizing. But their victory was short-lived. A new alarm blared, and Marcus's voice rang out in panic. Captain, the entanglement is too strong. It's pulling the alternate realities towards us too quickly. Sarah watched in horror as the fragmented realities rushed towards the horizon, threatening to crush them under the weight of infinite possibilities. In that moment of crisis, Sarah had an epiphany. It's not about forcing the realities to conform to ours, she realized. It's about finding harmony between them all. Acting on instinct, she interfaced directly with AOIA, their consciousnesses merging in a way never before attempted between human and AI. Together, they reached out across the quantum link, not to dominate the other realities, but to synchronize with them. The effect was immediate and awe-inspiring. The rushing fragments slowed, then began to orbit the horizon in a cosmic dance. Gradually, they started to merge, not into a single homogeneous reality, but into a beautifully complex, interconnected multiverse. As the final pieces fell into place, a blinding light enveloped the ship. When it faded, the crew found themselves back in normal space, the Nexus structure whole once more. The alien voice spoke again, filled with genuine amazement. Incredible. You not only stabilized the quantum event, but found a way to harmonize realities we thought were incompatible. You have surpassed every expectation, humans. Sarah, still reeling from her merge with AOIA, stepped forward. We just did what we had to do. But I have to ask, was this really a test? Or did we just face a real threat to the multiverse? There was a pause before the reply came. Perceptive as always, Captain. The threat was very real. We did not create it, but we used it as the ultimate test. Your species has proven itself beyond any doubt. The bridge of the horizon erupted in cheers, the crew celebrating their monumental achievement, but Sarah held up a hand, silencing them. Thank you, she said to the unseen aliens, but I think we've moved beyond tests now. If the multiverse can face threats like this, we want to help. Not as a junior species to be evaluated, but as full partners in protecting all of reality. The response, when it came, was filled with warmth and respect. We could hope for nothing less, humans. Welcome to the Galactic Confederation. Together, we will face the challenges that threaten not just our universe, but all universes. As the transmission ended, Sarah turned to her crew. The looks of pride, exhaustion, and wonder on their faces mirrored her own feelings. Well done, all of you, she said, her voice thick with emotion. We came out here to explore strange new worlds. I'd say we've exceeded that mission by about an infinite number of realities. Laughter rippled through the bridge, releasing the tension of their ordeal. So, Captain, Marcus asked, a grin on his face, where do we go from here? Sarah looked out at the stars, which now seemed to shimmer with new possibility. Where do we go? Everywhere, Lieutenant. We go everywhere. As the Horizon prepared to embark on its new mission as part of the Galactic Confederation, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of immense pride. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. They had taken their place among the stars, ready to help shape the destiny of not just their universe, but all universes. The adventure, it seemed, was only just beginning. The cosmic convergence. As the UES Horizon integrated into the Galactic Confederation, Captain Sarah Chen and her crew found themselves at the forefront of a new era in cosmic exploration. Their first official mission was unlike anything they could have imagined. Captain, we're receiving a priority transmission from Confederation HQ, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. Sarah nodded, her eyes fixed on the swirling vortex of vibrant colors displayed on the main view screen. Put it through, Lieutenant. The familiar voice of the Confederation's High Council filled the bridge, tinged with an urgency that set everyone on edge. Captain Chen, we have a situation of utmost importance. Our long-range sensors have detected a cosmic anomaly approaching the galaxy at FTL speeds. We're calling it the convergence. Dr. Foster's eyes widened as she analyzed the incoming data. Fascinating. It appears to be a collision of multiple cosmic strings, creating a tear in the fabric of space-time itself. The Council continued, precisely, Dr. Foster. This convergence threatens not just our galaxy, but the entire observable universe. We need the Horizon to investigate and, if possible, neutralize this threat. Sarah straightened, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. Understood, Council. We won't let you down. Horizon out. She turned to her crew, determination etched on her face. All right, people, this is what we've been training for. Let's save the universe. As the Horizon approached the convergence, the ship's sensors went haywire. Reality itself seemed to warp and bend around them. LIA, status report, Sarah commanded. The A's holographic avatar flickered to life, its expression uncharacteristically concerned. Captain, the convergence is emitting quantum fluctuations on an unprecedented scale. It's as if multiple timelines are colliding at this single point in space. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently. Alarms blared as systems across the horizon began to malfunction. "We're being pulled in," Marcus shouted, his hands flying over the controls. "The convergence's gravity is too strong." Sarah gripped her chair, her mind racing. "All hands, brace for impact. AOA, divert all power to the shields." As the horizon plunged into the heart of the convergence, the crew experienced something beyond their wildest imaginations. Time and space seemed to lose all meaning. They saw flashes of alternate realities, paths not taken, futures that could be. In one moment, Sarah saw herself as a teacher on Earth, never having joined Starfleet. In another, the horizon was a warship, leading a human armada against alien invaders. The visions came faster and faster, threatening to overwhelm their senses. "We need to stabilize our position," Dr. Foster yelled over the chaos. "If we don't anchor ourselves to our own reality, we'll be torn apart by the quantum fluctuations." Sarah nodded, an idea forming in her mind. "RIA, can you use our quantum entanglement drive to create a bubble of stable spacetime around the ship?" The A's avatar flickered uncertainly. "It's possible, Captain, but it would require an enormous amount of energy. We'd be pushing the drive far beyond its designed limits." "Do it," Sarah ordered. "Divert all non-essential power to the drive." As AOIA complied, the ship's lights dimmed, and a low hum filled the air. Slowly, the chaotic visions outside the viewscreen began to stabilize. The horizon now floated in a pocket of calm within the storm of the convergence. "Incredible," Dr. Foster breathed, studying her readings. "We're at the nexus of infinite realities. The scientific possibilities are endless." But Sarah knew they had a job to do. As fascinating as this is, we need to find a way to neutralize the convergence before it tears the galaxy apart. Ideas, people. Marcus spoke up, his tactical mind working overtime. "What if we use the quantum drive to stitch the tear in spacetime back together?" Dr. Foster nodded excitedly. "Yes, if we can align the quantum frequencies just right, we might be able to cancel out the conflicting timelines and seal the breach." Sarah turned to AOIA. "Can we do it?" The A's avatar looked uncertain. "It's theoretically possible, Captain, but it would require precise calibration of the quantum drive. One miscalculation could cause a cascade failure, potentially accelerating the convergence's effects." "Then we'll just have to get it right the first time," Sarah said firmly. "Begin calculations. Dr. Foster, work with AOIA to fine-tune the quantum frequencies. Lieutenant Rodriguez, I need you to plot a course that will take us through every part of this tier. We need to seal it completely." As the crew worked feverishly, Sarah couldn't help but marvel at the sight before her. Through the viewscreen, she could see glimpses of other versions of the horizon, each facing its own challenges. In that moment, she felt a profound connection to every alternate version of herself and her crew. "Captain," AOIA's voice cut through her thoughts, "calculations are complete. We're ready to begin the sieving process." Sarah took a deep breath. "This is it, everyone. No matter what happens, I want you to know it's been an honor serving with you. Let's make history." With a nod from Sarah, AOIA activated the quantum drive. The ship surged forward, trailing streams of brilliant energy behind it. As they moved through the convergence, they could see the tear and spacetime slowly knitting itself back together. But the process was taking its toll on the horizon. Alarms blared as systems overloaded and failed. Hull integrity down to 60%. Marcus shouted over the din. "We're losing power to the aft shields." Sarah gritted her teeth. "Reroute emergency power. We're almost there." As they approached the final section of the tier, a massive surge of energy rocked the ship. Consoles exploded in showers of sparks, and for a moment, it seemed like they might not make it. In that crucial moment, Sarah felt a strange sensation. It was as if she could sense all the alternate versions of herself across countless realities facing this same challenge. With a surge of determination, she reached out mentally, drawing strength from every Sarah Chen that had ever existed. "LIA," she commanded, her voice resonating with newfound power. "Initiate final sealing sequence." The AI complied, and the horizon unleashed a burst of energy unlike anything they had ever generated before. The tear in spacetime pulsed, contracted, and finally sealed shut with a blinding flash of light. As the light faded, the crew found themselves back in normal space. The convergence was gone, leaving behind only a faint ripple in the cosmic background radiation. Cheers erupted on the bridge as the realization of what they had accomplished sank in. They had saved not just their galaxy, but potentially the entire multiverse. The Council's voice came through once more, filled with awe and gratitude. "Captain Chen, words cannot express our admiration for what you and your crew have achieved today. You've not only saved countless lives, but have advanced our understanding of the cosmos immeasurably." Sarah smiled, looking around at her battered but triumphant crew. "Thank you, Council. But we couldn't have done it without the combined efforts of every version of ourselves across the multiverse. It seems the greatest power in the universe is unity, not just among species, but among realities." As the horizon limped back to the nearest starbase for repairs, Sarah knew that this adventure was just the beginning. They had glimpsed the true vastness of existence, and there was so much more to explore. The universe, no, the multiverse, was waiting, and humanity, as part of the Galactic Confederation, was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, across all of time and space. The consciousness catalyst. The UES Horizon, freshly repaired and upgraded with cutting-edge Confederation technology, hovered at the edge of a shimmering nebula. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling cosmic gases that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. "LIA, status report," Sarah commanded, her voice tinged with anticipation. The A's holographic avatar materialized, its expression unusually perplexed. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy signatures emanating from the nebula. They don't match any known cosmic phenomena in our database." Dr. Foster's eyes lit up as she analyzed the readings. "Fascinating. These energy patterns, they're almost reminiscent of neural activity, but on a cosmic scale." Before anyone could respond, the ship's communication system crackled to life. A chorus of voices, speaking in perfect unison, filled the bridge. "Greetings, explorers. We are the collective consciousness of the luminous nebula. Your presence has awakened us from our cosmic slumber." The crew exchanged stunned glances. Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady despite her amazement. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Horizon, representing the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace and with great curiosity." The voices responded, their tone a mixture of amusement and intrigue. "Ah, the fabled Confederation. Your recent actions in stabilizing the multiverse have rippled across the cosmos, drawing our attention. We have a proposition for you, Captain Chen." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "We're listening. For eons we have existed as pure consciousness, observing the universe but unable to interact with it directly. Your species, with its unique blend of physical form and evolving consciousness, intrigues us. We propose a symbiosis, a merging of our cosmic awareness with your physical capabilities." The bridge erupted into a flurry of excited whispers. Dr. Foster stepped forward, her eyes wide with wonder. A cosmic consciousness wanting to merge with humanity. The scientific implications are staggering. Lieutenant Rodriguez, ever cautious, voiced his concerns. "Captain, this could be incredibly dangerous. We have no idea what this merging could do to us." Sarah nodded, considering both perspectives. "What exactly would this symbiosis entail?" she asked the collective. The voices resonated through the ship once more. "We would create a consciousness catalyst, a bridge between your minds and the cosmic awareness. It would grant you access to knowledge and abilities beyond your wildest imagination. But be warned, the process is not without risks. Your consciousness would be expanded to encompass the vastness of the cosmos. Not all minds can withstand such an expansion. Sarah took a deep breath, weighing the potential benefits against the risks. We'll need time to discuss this among ourselves and consult with the Confederation. Of course, the collective responded, but do not tarry too long. The cosmic tides are shifting, and great challenges lie ahead for all sentient life. Your decision could shape the fate of the universe. As the transmission ended, Sarah turned to her crew. I need options, people. Dr. Foster, what are the potential scientific benefits of this symbiosis? Amelia's eyes sparkled with excitement. Captain, if this works, we could gain insights into the fundamental nature of consciousness itself. We might unlock secrets of the universe that have eluded us for millennia. The potential for advancement is, well, it's literally mind-boggling. Marcus chimed in, his tactical mind already considering the strategic implications. From a defensive standpoint, this could give us an incredible advantage. Cosmic awareness could help us predict and prevent threats before they even materialize. Aria's avatar flickered thoughtfully. There's also the philosophical consideration, Captain. This could represent the next step in human evolution, a transcendence beyond our physical limitations. Sarah nodded, taking in all the perspectives. And the risks? Dr. Foster's expression grew serious. Honestly, Captain, we're in uncharted territory here. Best case scenario, we gain unimaginable knowledge and abilities. Worst case, our minds could be overwhelmed, our individuality lost in the cosmic consciousness. Sarah paced the bridge, her mind racing. After a long moment, she came to a decision. We can't pass up this opportunity. The potential benefits to humanity and the entire Confederation are too great. But we do this carefully, methodically. I'll be the first to undergo the symbiosis. Protests immediately erupted from the crew, but Sarah held up a hand to silence them. This is not up for debate. As captain, it's my responsibility to take the first risk. If something goes wrong, the rest of you can pull me out and warn the Confederation. With the decision made, Sarah opened a channel to the collective. We accept your offer, but with conditions. We'll proceed step by step, beginning with a single volunteer, myself. The collective's response was immediate, filled with what sounded like approval. A wise and courageous decision, Captain Chen. Prepare yourself. The creation of the consciousness catalyst begins now. The nebula before them began to pulse with increasing intensity. Streams of luminous energy converged on the horizon, enveloping the ship in a cocoon of cosmic light. Sarah felt a tingling sensation throughout her body, starting at the base of her skull and spreading to every nerve ending. Her vision blurred, and for a moment, she feared she had made a terrible mistake. But then everything changed. Sarah's consciousness expanded exponentially. In an instant, she perceived the intricate dance of quarks within atoms, the complex ecosystems of distant planets, the birth and death of stars across the galaxy. Time became fluid, the past and future unfolding simultaneously before her mind's eye. She saw the interconnectedness of all things, how the flap of a butterfly's wings on Earth could influence the formation of a black hole millions of light years away. The secrets of dark matter and dark energy revealed themselves, along with technologies beyond humanity's wildest dreams. But it wasn't just knowledge that flooded her mind. Sarah felt the emotions, hopes, and fears of countless beings across the cosmos. She experienced the joy of a child taking its first steps on a world light years from Earth, the sorrow of a dying star, the wonder of a civilization discovering faster-than-light travel. As her consciousness continued to expand, Sarah feared she might lose herself in the vastness of it all. But then she felt something anchor her, the unwavering loyalty of her crew, the love of her family back on Earth, the dedication to her mission. These connections tethered her, allowing her to maintain her sense of self amidst the cosmic awareness. With a gasp, Sarah's perception snapped back to the bridge of the horizon. she stumbled, steadied by Marcus and Dr. Foster. "Captain, are you all right?" Amelia asked, her voice filled with concern. Sarah blinked, her eyes refocusing on her surroundings. But now, she saw more than just the physical realm. She perceived the quantum probabilities surrounding each person, the threads of cosmic energy connecting all things. I'm more than all right," Sarah said, her voice resonating with newfound power and understanding. "I've seen everything. The past, the present, the future, all interconnected in ways we never imagined." She turned to the view screen, where the nebula now pulsed in sync with her own thoughts. The collective was right. There are challenges coming, threats to all sentient life. But now, we have the knowledge and the power to face them. Sarah faced her crew, her eyes shimmering with cosmic energy. "What we've discovered here, what we've become, it changes everything. The Confederation, humanity, all sentient life. We stand on the brink of a new era of exploration and understanding." As the crew looked on in awe, Sarah raised her hand, effortlessly manipulating the ship's controls with her mind. The Horizon's systems surged with new power, upbraided by her mere thoughts. "Our mission has expanded beyond anything we could have imagined," Sarah declared. "We're not just explorers anymore. We're the guardians of consciousness itself, tasked with shepherding the evolution of all sentient life in the cosmos." The bridge erupted in a mixture of cheers and astonished murmurs. As the reality of their new situation sank in, each crew member felt a sense of both excitement and trepidation. They had become part of something greater than themselves, poised to reshape the very fabric of the universe. As the Horizon prepared to embark on its new mission, Sarah looked out at the stars, seeing them not just as distant points of light, but as a vast, interconnected web of consciousness waiting to be awakened. The true adventure, it seemed, was only just beginning.